Episode 3 of the Boys in Green podcast is the need for results for Celtic continues. Hello, welcome back to the podcast, joined by Nathan to discuss everything Celtic. How are you doing, Nathan?
No bad, how about you?
I'm good, thanks. This has obviously been the first video on the channel for a while, just not uploaded because I've been really busy, but back to discuss everything Celtic. Going to be discussing the KILLE game and also discussing a bit about VAR and just discussing everything around the club at the moment as the title race continues. How are you doing, Nathan? Just gonna, I've known you bro a while, so
I've been doing alright, busy as well, but good to be back talking about Celtic.
So what have you kind of made of Celtic the last few weeks? Because obviously we've not really kind of spoke for a few weeks.
This team is very bipolar. It's like, you know, we play so well in spurts, but then there's just so many times we're just inconsistent.
I thought, going back to last week's game against St Mirren on Sunday, I thought it was a lot better. I thought it was a lot more controlled.
I thought the formation really helped us, especially KILLE.
I think it's because, and I think what a lot of people kind of thought of in terms of how you're going to see a Rodgers team play, it might not be the swashbuckling football we've seen under Ange, but it's as long as it's controlled and we get the results, and that's the main thing.
But there's control with intent, and that's what this team's been lacking, the intent. But hopefully if we play the new system tomorrow, then we can.
The way I look at it, and I've kind of tried to remain, is looking at it the same way the whole kind of throughout the whole season. As long as we kind of get the results and stuff, I get there's been some disappointment stuff, and there's been a disappointing window put in between it now. But I think it's all about how we focus on how to get the results and just get over the line, to be honest, because it's been a poor season, and I do think
disappointing season.
It's been a disappointing season, but I do think if we could end it, I think if we get the league title, I think it would.
Not if, when we get the league title.
Hopefully, when we get the league title, I think all might be obviously forgotten. I think even.
Do you think though? Because I feel like the way the Celtic fans are reacting this time, it feels different. I don't
think everything will be forgotten, but I don't think it'll be. There will be nothing will be forgotten, and I would be happy to see it not being forgotten on, you know, certain members of the hierarchy, because they something needs to come off the back of this.
Something needs to change. We can't have the inconsistency.
Obviously, we've heard the last few days that looks like Mark Lawwell could be leaving. There's rumours are beginning about that Mark Lawwell could be leaving at the end of the season, or even in the next few weeks. It seems so. It does seem that there could be a recruitment kind of shake up.
They need to be.
There needs to be. I think that's why Rodgers has been a lot more kind of choppier really the last few interviews. He's not been as. I think because he knows that there could be a change in the way. I think there has to be a change.
Rodgers looks happier.
Rodgers will know, and this is where I'll defend Rodgers a bit. Rodgers will know this hasn't been good enough. Some of the results.
He knows more than that. He knows what it takes to make it.
He's not a clown, but
he's a top quality manager.
He's a top manager, but and I'm not saying Rodgers is devoid of the blame. There is blame that puts on Rodgers, because he sets the team out. But I do think his hands have been tied behind his back so much.
They don't help each other. The hierarchy and Rodgers doesn't help himself with obviously the playing style. You know, it all links together in a way. If it's bad for the top, it's going to trickle its way down.
That's how a club kind of runs. But
yeah,
I think it's been a bit
lacklustre.
The games have been better. Don't get me wrong. The games have been better. You know, Aberdeen was poor, Hibs was poor, but we got the result thankfully. But St Mirren was a lot better.
St Mirren was.
And I don't. People were saying, "Oh, it's only 2-0," but it's a win. It's a win at a tough ground.
St Mirren are a really good team.
And this is the thing. And I'm not trying to. You can maybe come on. I probably have it in the comments. So maybe I'm just trying to lighten stuff, but I just think it's important to have a bit of perspective about it. If that's under Ange last season, we win 2-0 at St Mirren, we're saying good result in the next round.
Well, Ange always struggled with St Mirren, didn't he?
That was one. We did, because he get beat 2-0. He also won 5-1, I think, or something. I remember Johnson scored his.
Was that not at home?
I think he won heavily away. I can't remember what the result, but
I know that was where O scored his first goal. That was.
That was a home game. I'm pretty sure O scored. But I'm just trying to kind of put a bit of perspective.
You look at St Mirren as well. You know, they're a well coached team. They've got a good coach. I mean, they've got a great track record with players as well.
Because I think it was important to. I think it was obviously important to see. Just a bit more control, and it wasn't as erratic, and you only get into the last 10 minutes which you think, they could get a goal here and nick it in extra time, but I don't even know if it's extra time or replays. I think it's extra time in the Scottish Cup, but it was obviously just good to get the result really and get it in the next round of the Cup, obviously, because that's another thing. St Mirren were going to go for it because you can't sit 10
men. They probably had the better chances.
You can't. I would, to be honest, had that overhead kick. Gogic
had 2 chances.
Man possessed. I don't know what he was doing, but Joe Hart again thought he was really good.
Joe Hart the last few games has been utterly incredible.
I've seen it being branded about it, but giving him a one-year extension, but we get this every year. Celtic fans are really good at this. This is why players like Mikey Johnson, players like that have stayed along for how long, because there's just too much room for sentimentality. Now, don't get me wrong, Happy Heart's done really well the last few games. Do I think even Hart would want a 1 year contract? I don't know. I think this will be his last season. I think he'll want it because I think his family and that are still down south. So I'm pretty sure his family are still down south.
I thought his family moved up.
No, I'm not. He's no, and that's.
I thought he said that in the event for stuff like that.
I think it was an interview a few weeks ago and he was talking about how his family were still doing, I'm pretty sure. So I think if that is the case, I think Joe Hart done as a service. He's done as a service for about 3 years coming the end of his contract. I certainly don't think in that first season, if we didn't have Hart and goal, we wouldn't have won the league. Because he stabled that goalkeeper position, but I do think that there needs to be a new goalkeeper put in the summer, really. I think everybody knows that, really. I think even Rodgers knows that. Hart himself probably knows that.
You seen his reaction? Was it the last Champions League game where he looked up?
I think he kind of knew that this was his like last game at a top level, really. And I think this will be his, and that's no spite on the guys. I can't remember, 35, 36 year old or something. It's a brilliant.
Still looking good for a goalie.
It's a brilliant career. So I just kind of say to Hart, thanks for what you've done. Good luck, really. Pretty much, I think that's what needs to be kind of done.
He deserves to, if he wins the trophy, to lift it alongside Callum McGregor. Not just as a player, but as a role model, Hart in the dressing room is pivotal.
I think it's and this is. I remember, I was listening to some other podcast, and they basically said that in this Celtic team, if we don't win the league, we're in danger of not giving Matt O'Reilly the send off that he deserves for what he's done. Hart for what he's done, and whoever else kind of leaves.
Potentially had he'll go
because you're probably looking at James Forrest leaving as well, because obviously towards the end of the January window, it was looking that he could. Maybe there wasn't any concrete rumours, but there was a rumour that
there was a rumour going about in deadline day, wasn't there?
That he was open for offers, and I do think come the summer, James Forrest on about a decent wage. He's not contributing at all.
I mean, James is probably one of the highest in the club due to the length that he's been at Celtic for and the way our wage structure is. So
it seems to be the two Jameses are on high wage. One is not contributed in 3 years, but I think that's crucial for but. Come the now, there's not really much point. The way I kind of look at it, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, but you can't really. It's getting to the point now we need to just make sure that you're talking
is done on the pitch.
At the football now, you can't. We had a bad window, and don't get me wrong, that'll come under scrutiny in the summer again, and it'll keep.
You say that, I mean, what if Adamida keeps scoring, and what if Kim does well?
still has to come under scrutiny because
No, I agree.
I think it's because there was a rumour going about. I think it was like 2 days after deadline, and it came for Mark Kendrick for the Football Scotland or something, basically Daily Record, basically saying that we did try and go in for Matthews Krietsgaarden again, and they said no. So I think it's very telling. You talk about Ida there. There's no option to buy on Adam Ida. Is that why? So they've went like, we'll buy Ida Ida was a panic. Let's not be.
Totally. Definitely.
And I do feel bad for the guy because
he scored 2 goals.
I do feel bad for him because I seen him on Saturday and he's like, he's rotten, and I'm like, well.
What do you mean rotten? He won the game for us against Hibs.
Hibs. I get that, but I just think Ida. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I just think Ida at the moment he's not going to be able to do any right up here because he's going to have all that hanging his back, which isn't his fault.
And plus, if he does like really well and Celtic fans start going, oh, we should buy him, then Norwich could outprice him. But
at the same time, like when it comes to summer, we can't if Kuhn or Ida, as you say, does well. We can't just go everything's fine now. There needs to be a decent change at Celtic. There has to be
a big window.
It's
even rebuild.
No, that's going to be a rebuild anyway, no matter who leaves. Matt Ailey's gone. So there's players there.
Do you not think there's any possibility he stays?
No, Matt Ailey. I've seen Matt Ailey get it. But the last 3 games, he's not been great. But I don't think the last 3 games, I don't think the midfield have been that great, to be honest.
I mean, if you look back at the game against St Mirren,
Callum McGregor's pass was probably the only decent move I think we had with the midfield.
The real momentum change in the game in the second half came when we put Bernardo on, and I think the midfield just got lost because the midfield's been getting lost a lot recently in games.
But I think Matt Ailey, there's a reason Atletico Madrid are bidding for him. I think he'll be destined for, I'd even go as far as saying, I think he could go to a major European club. I do think.
Is he that good yet?
Well, there's a reason Atletico Madrid are looking at him.
True.
And Milan are looking at him. We're not talking about a bog standard Southampton, a bog standard Brighton. I say bog standard.
Brighton?
They know you're talking. And I might be going too far here, but I just think if teams like Inter Milan and Atletico Madrid are looking, there is something there.
Well, we need a costly package for him, don't we?
We'll get a decent amount of money for him.
30?
I don't know. It's hard to kind of tell.
You can't go under 25.
I do think we could be looking at a record-breaking transfer to break Tierney's record, but I think even if there's still positions that need fixed. Even
left back.
If we kept the team we have now, there's still positions that need rebuilt. Left back, I'd even go as far as saying you can get better than. And don't get me wrong, right? And people are going to absolutely hang me here, but you can get better than Liam Scales. That's the thing. You can get better.
See, me and my dad always getting an argument about this.
He's been brilliant, but there is better.
He doesn't deserve to be dropped though.
No, he doesn't deserve to be dropped.
He's been apart from O'Reilly, he's been Celtic's best player this season.
This is what Celtic should be aiming as a club. You can get better than Liam Scales. You can get better than.
I totally disagree.
You can get better than any player.
I disagree.
You can't.
Because the reason I'm disagreeing, right, is because Liam Scales came in and he took his chance.
This is Ralston power. This is what it is.
Look at the players the players that we, not as Celtic fans, just in football fans in general, wrote off thinking, oh, he's just a squad player, and then turns out plays every week. Liam Scales is one of them, and he's not put a foot wrong. He's been our most consistent figure in the back.
He's not put a foot wrong, and I'm not saying he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't contribute at Celtic, but we can get any player at Celtic we can get better than. That's the thing. That's what you should be aiming.
But then you look at it, and we spent $6 million on the Rocky, and when the whole defence is
Rocky was $4 million.
It went up to 6. It was add-ons, and you look at it and you go, when Celtic have their full defence available, it's Liam Scales and Vickers at the back.
I know it is at the moment, but I just believe that you should be looking to That's what it's always to get any position.
I get you're looking to improve, but I mean, like, Liam Skills doesn't deserve to be replaced.
I'm not. That's not what I'm saying necessarily. I'm just saying that you as a football club, you should be always looking to improve in what you've got. You should be looking to improve in Kyogo.
Oh yeah, we definitely need a centre half.
You should have been looking to improve on Maida. You should be looking to improve on Palma. It's not, and that's what I'm not trying to say that Liam Scales is terrible and Liam Scales shouldn't, but these are players, and big props up to Liam Scales for basically going, no, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna make sure I can state my claim, and he's done that this season.
Totally.
But if you were to tell me at the start of the season that we would have the back four, Bernabe, who I actually thought was okay at the weekend, Ralston done okay, Welsh and Liam Scales, I would have absolutely laughed at you, but that's the way we're in.
Poor, but I mean, then you've got to look into it and go, no, Liam Scales does deserve to be.
No, he don't. No, he's not. And maybe when I put him in that kind of context, but the rest of them, Welsh, and I'll be fair to them, they done alright at the weekend.
Do not put Tony Ralston in that category.
Here he goes.
No, because I think he's come in the last two games and been brilliant. I think the way he flies into tackles, we don't win the Hibs game if it isn't for Tony Ralston. Exactly. That slide tackle where I don't know how Ewan doesn't win it, to be honest, but Hibs are breaking away. But that shows passion. I mean, look at Dingwall. Like a couple of years ago, he came up and look at the balls he's put in the box at the last minute. Was he not the one that put in the ball for Leila Abada when he scored against Dundee United? Was that long? It was Ralston. So see, Ralston comes up with assists and he's solid defensively. So I'm not having Ralston getting put in. I'm not trying to slander him, but because Ralston and Scales are good. I'm going against my point, but I agree that we should be looking to improve on Scales. I get your point on that one, but you even think that you could go three at the back with Scales, Vickers, and get somebody else in, because it's just that back four, and I get injuries, but also this is where I sympathise for Rodgers with a bit. That you need to look like what he's working with at times. True, because we've missed probably our best midfielder last season for the whole season. Missed Hatate from. That's what I'm talking about. He's not had the luck of the green. We've never really had a full kind of set midfield. Obviously, O'Reilly and McGregor. Bernardo's, been. It's just a toss up between the third and place. And so it's always gonna be who's going to get in that third kind of spot. Who I think would be brilliant in the midfield? I think Maeda. See where Kyogo was playing against St Mirren, I think Maeda'd be perfect there. No, I'm with Maeda, man. He can't cross a bit of series. But that's what I'm saying, he's direct in the middle. And I mean, my dad was saying I think if Maeda's going to play anywhere compared to where he's playing now, it'd be striker, but the guy can't finish. That's the problem. I bet he's no a winger. Come on, you can't tell me. I say then he's the problem is, and left back, and I like Maeda, right? But if it wasn't for his pressing, which is a massive part of his game, because they can't. I like Maeda. Maeda's just an anomaly, man. 1 minute. And I'm not having this myth he can't cross, because the cross he put in for Jota against Rangers last season. I bet that's 1 in 10. He's not even looking in the bottom in 1 minute, but he will put a decent cross in. But then he done it about 3 times in St Mirren when he went to cross and ended up over the stadium. I think you could tell because didn't he celebrate his goal? I think you could tell he was pissed off. But so. I think my dad, as I was saying, my dad was saying at the weekend that Kyogo and Maeda up front movement would destroy teams. I think the two of them are too similar, but not necessarily, because you look at the stats in the J League back in the day, it was always Maeda that was top goal scorer as a striker. I need to see him at least getting shots on target for. If we go to Ibrox in like a month in April and I see Dies in Maeda, I'll be like sitting there thinking, because I like Maeda, man, but he does get some unfair slack, I think. But there is sometimes where you just have to look at
this guy struggles to cross a ball.
Exactly. I mean, I think any professional football player getting paid thousands a week should be able to put a ball in the box.
But a decent enough ball, no blaze it out the stadium. But
it's the same way with people say all the time, like Adamita's chance Saturday. You know, I don't care which striker you are. If you're getting paid money to be a professional, you should put that ball in the back of the net under any circumstance.
Aye, no, but I do think the one thing I'll give him either, you can't buy his pressing.
Work ethic. I mean, they were a point in this St Mirren game Saturday where I think the ball was going to go out, and I think Bernabeu was surrounded, and Maeda sprinted over for the other wing to help Bernabeu, and ended up getting the corner.
I think I've seen a stat as well. The games we've dropped points in, Maeda's not played, and I'm not talking about Champions League games. I'm just talking about league games. He didn't play against Hearts. Pretty much.
That was the worst. That was one of the worst games I've ever been.
We got. You know, so you can tell why, you know, when he's not there.
Totally.
I mean, he's better than Mikey Johnson, but
he scored for West Brom.
Seen that, man. Then he was
bring him home.
then he got a chance. No, that's like he did get a chance. Mikey, right? I don't want. He's away, right? Fair. Good luck to him, man. Right. I say he's away. He's back from summer, and you'll get the same rubbish again. Really, if he does well, I've heard this for.
I will play him for about 5 games.
I've heard this for how long? We heard this when he was out in Portugal on loan, and then he was surplus to requirements again. You can't be surplus to requirements under 3 managers, and then you know, and you can say I'm probably harsh on Mikey Johnson, right? It's just frustrating because the guy is full of tricks, but the consistency.
You see a player inside Mikey Johnson, but he's just not got. Is it the mentality he's not got? Would you say?
I don't know what it is, but we've heard for how long a young Mikey Johnson. I'm actually going to search that up now. I'm pretty sure he's like 24. No, that's not young.
I think he's 22.
Mikey Johnson. Mikey Johnson. He's 20.
I mean, you know,
he's 24.
Is he? Oh God, I feel
24.
I feel like a granda, man. I remember 7 years ago seeing him coming on.
But see, for 7 years, all I've heard is, we young Mikey Johnson. There's only so much. 24's no young. I'm sick of hearing this. It seems like a bit. 20 young. If 24's a young player, I'm done. 24, you know, you should be
starting to.
You should have some sort of experience. You should have played at least.
Mikey Johnson's played in some big games, so.
Aye, but he's never. But if Mikey Johnson was up to the task, he would have nailed in a spot. During the 10-0 season, we seem to mention this every week in this podcast, but he never nailed in a spot then. He had that bit of purple patch under Lennon during when we won 9-0. Then he got injured, and that's what I will sympathise. You know, injuries haven't helped him, right? I'll give him that.
Totally.
Injuries have not helped Mikey Johnson at all. But there becomes a point, because I'm pretty sure he said something after the game. He's like, I didn't get a chance. And I was like, Mikey, you've played plenty. He's played plenty this season.
Yeah, he's played plenty. He came on nearly every game. No?
He came on, and Rodgers has also said more than one occasion he needs to improve. Well, he's 24-year-old.
He should be already improved.
No, I get players always need to improve, but the way Rodgers was, he needs to get his positional sense. He's 24. Like, if he can't get his positional sense at that age.
He's played enough games to know his positional sense, in my opinion. But I'm past it. If he in the summer, if he does well in West Brom, if West Brom want to take him penalty, fair enough. But if he doesn't, we need to get him a club, because it's no. We can't be. I can't be bothered with just constantly
sentimentality.
Yeah.
You know, we need to start.
Be ruthless. We need to be ruthless.
That's what all the big clubs do. Real Madrid, they're like one of the big ruthless clubs in the world. You know,
going after Davis and
I'm not comparing us to Real Madrid. It's a different ball game. But
obviously Celtic are bigger.
But it doesn't mean that you don't run that club. You know, we are a big club. maybe not as big as Real Madrid, nor that.
A history.
But you run. You doesn't get an excuse not to run
for the badge.
You know, you just run a club properly, and stuff will happen. And I'm not saying our club have been run. You know, hasn't been run properly. You just look at the Rangers across the city. They don't run it properly, and you know what happens. Happy administration day, by the way. But
to move on to predicted 11 for the game tomorrow, Josh, what do you think? Goalkeeper, Hart. Defence.
Quickly, just to cut you, I'm just going to go back. I'm just going to Jones. They said the pressure at Celtic is massive, which I don't think people will realise the pressure. It's something I've exposed to from a young age, and I'm looking forward to perform. It's a massive change. That's what it says, to be in a tough league, different to what I expected before, but it doesn't feel like a step down. I don't know. I'm trying to look for the quote. He basically just said about how he was annoyed, but back to predicted 11s, I think it'll be Hart and goal. Johnson will play right. I don't know if Johnson back. I've not even.
No.
Cosme Dira's early on a Friday.
He's got I think a fractured something in his eye, fractured. I think Ralston will start.
Ralston then probably.
So Hart, Ralston, Scales, the Rocket. No, Welsh.
Aye.
Taylor's back in training. Could they go Bernabeu? Bernabeu played well on Saturday.
I wouldn't mind, but I'd still.
I say Greg Taylor.
Greg Taylor, I'd still go.
Midfield, O'Reilly, McGregor, Bernardo. Up front.
But then if we're going to.
Aye, but then could we play the.
We're going to go the 3-5-2. So it would be. I take it if you're going with the same formation, it'd be probably Welsh, Scales, and then you'd play the wing backs. So basically what we played against St Mirren. I'd say the same team, but just the one change with Greg Taylor pretty much.
So would you play that?
Either in Kyogo, I think.
And it benefits Kyogo real well.
It benefits Kyogo, and I just think you need to go and give Kilmarnock something different. I don't think
Kilmarnock are in good form as well.
Good form, but we should. Well, they beat us twice this season, to be fair. So
I'd expect a couple of goals because the goal difference is obviously quite tight. So we need to start letting the foot brake off. You know, we need to start handbrake. The handbrake off.
Aye, but I know what you mean. We need to just. Can I just say is we need to kind of
because we're too content with just the win. No, we need to start pumping teams basically.
But at the same time, you know, if we win 3 points now at the end of the season, won the league. So that's the way you kind of look at it.
And you win every game plus the 2 Glasgow derbies.
If I'm being honest, if you were to offer me a draw at Ibrox, then I'd bite your hand off for it.
We said this, the game against Ibrox, and we actually won it, so
yeah, I think
I'm confident Rodgers knows how to play against Rangers.
A draw at Ibrox, then the last Glasgow derby is at Parkhead, so that's what's going to make me a bit more confident that we can go win the league. And I do think I still think we will win the league.
The game at Parkhead's going to be a dodgy game, isn't it? It's going to be a nervous. I'm going to be nervous rate that morning anyway.
No, but hopefully becoming at that point, Rangers have dropped points and we've really put the foot brake, like a same foot brake, on, and now we can keep going because you don't know, they could go and drop points against St Johnstone the weekend. You know,
that present.
You know, it would be so you don't. You know, the one at Celtic Park, I'll probably not be near the end of the season. So,
aye,
because it'll be the split fixture. They have not been decided yet. So, you don't know what's going to kind of happen by that point.
So, what's your score prediction for tomorrow?
4-0.
I'd say 3-0. I think we'll get a 3-0.
I would say 4-0. Just kind of clean sheet, few goals up the road. Trust the Broad.
We Burger King.
Aye, God, no. I just wanted to kind of end off the show. There was a quite interesting VAR report that was released quite recently in Scottish football, and the reading made very grim reading, to be honest, but it doesn't really surprise me how bad it actually is. I love VAR, by the way, it's actually brilliant.
I know, he's got a pure thing for it.
So it was quite interesting to read. I'll just get it up now because I can. It was basically an article basically that was just says it was 13 more. Says there's 13 more VAR decisions were incorrect in the second group of fixtures. 13 VAR decision, which is an increase of 10 from the first quarter.
How does that one work? They're meant to improve over time though.
Exactly. So this is just off the BBC article, I'm just reading it off. 13 decisions have been deemed incorrect by Scottish FA VAR independent review during the second round of fixtures, including the last Old Firm derby, but that's not.
Are they talking about Alistair Johnson?
Probably, aye. It represents a significant rise. However, the SFA, I'm going to actually, so what decisions were deemed to be incorrect? VAR called correct to recommend an on-field review for a potential. To be honest, VAR should have recommended an on-field after Ross McCausland was awarded a penalty against Lip. Should have been no penalty. To be honest, I'm just going to go to Celtic ones. VAR should have recommended an on-field penalty review for a handball offence by Celtic's Alistair Johnson. I don't really think anybody's disputing that. Nobody's disputing the fact that.
I'm not going to lie, when I first seen it,
you said handball to me. I'm not disputing that was a handball. It was.
And you turned into me like you were ready to slap me in the face.
At that point, you're just But nobody's right. This is my problem. Like, nobody is disputing that was a handball, but it was offside. I don't get it. I don't understand.
Yeah, it was clearly
it was offside.
Yeah,
and so it was wrong in that aspect, but it would have been overturned anyway. It would not have been given. It would not have been given. That's pretty much
the only one for Celtic.
Which was that one. Which was, I knew that would have been in it. It's
got every right to be in it.
It was a big decision.
Unless they're not talking about the offside part of it.
So, I do understand. It probably should have been a review for the penalty, but you would have seen it was offside.
Yeah.
So, it's just, I don't get all the moaning. VAR is garbage, right? We know that.
The games are so much more enjoyable when you watch like FA Cup games, for example, and there's no VAR involved.
I watched the Newcastle Sunderland.
Tackles flying in.
To be fair, it was pretty boring. It was just one side, but it was a bit like you didn't need to. After every decision, it's
like when you score a goal, you can't properly celebrate because you're like, is VAR going to chop this off?
Exactly. I'm not a big fan of it. I just think it's a waste of time, to be perfectly honest. I just think, we're talking about this football, it's just getting, and I don't want to top it too much, but we're talking about bringing these, is it blue cards or something in there? I don't even know, man. Like, they use them in the rugby. I'm like, what is going on? So basically what will happen is, I think Ange Postecoglou, his reaction to it was quite funny. It always seems to be his with him, but I think it's basically like rugby. They've got sin bins, so that if they talk about a referee or dive or something, they get sent to a sin bin for 10 minutes. What's the point in that? So what Ange Postecoglou says was, well, a team's just going to shut up shop for 10 minutes to the player. That's no football. Come on, to God. I get you're trying to make the game better, but this is just getting beyond a joke. Blue card. Rogers said it's quite funny. What's that? You need a green card and all then. I think it's blue cards or something they were calling it.
Aye, blue cards. A 10-minute penalty.
2 blue cards as a result of football sin bins or something. That's just weird.
Wow.
So that in the trial, referee will have power to send off players for cynical fouls and dissent for 10 minutes. 2 blue cards will result in a player's dismissal for the rest of the match, as it would be a blue and a yellow card. That is just, I don't even know. So what is next, man? We go to a Celtic game, man. Oh, so he get a blue card. Kyogo's been sent off for 10 minutes. What the? If you're going to send somebody after, send them off for the rest of the game. What's that? It's just going to be boring. Imagine fucking David Martindale ball, man. 10 men behind the ball as it is. He gets a guy sent off. Imagine. I don't get it, man. It's just they're trying to overcomplicate football.
Either that.
They're trying to overcomplicate football to an absolute degree that just doesn't make sense.
I know it.
But I think Celtic just need to continue on their kind of way and making sure they get the results and get the performances.
We should.
Go for a good win at the weekend and just kind of keep the momentum going.
Keep to winning ways.
That's all we can do, pretty much.
Right.
But thanks for joining me today on the podcast, Nathan.
No problem.
We'll be back on Saturday after the game for the post-match reaction. Until then,
see you later.
Hey ho, see you later.